Hi there! In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the Daily Planner. You will become familiar with the different document layouts and their overall functionality so that you can get the most out of your hyperlinked templates. This tutorial will focus on the standard edition of our Daily Planner. However, many of the principles and features discussed here apply to other editions of our planners, such as the Daily Planner Lite edition and the Weekly Planner. You can find these versions and many more templates in our store using the link in the description box. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Once you have imported the Daily Planner into your device, the first page you will see when you open it is the planner's cover page placed at the beginning to show up as your document's thumbnail. Swipe to the left to reach the main calendar page to access the planner. This page has links to every dated page in your planner, and you can always come back to this page by pressing the calendar-shaped link at the top. If you close the sidebar tool, you will access the monthly and custom section tabs, which we'll describe later in the video. You can tap days, weeks, months, and quarters from the year calendar to jump to those specific pages. Just make sure that you activate them with your fingers, as the pen won't trigger these links. You'll also find a few other links next to the calendar at the top. The first section is the calendar, which is the page we are currently on. Next to the calendar are the annual goals and custom pages. We'll describe these sections in more detail later in the video. Tapping any month from the sidebar tool will take you to that month's calendar. You can see that as we move through pages, these tabs remain there so that you can easily access any month from any other location in the file. Opening the sidebar tool won't interfere with the layout, so feel free to leave these tools always accessible. The monthly calendar is a layout that you will probably find very familiar. Nowadays, many of us are accustomed to using other digital tools such as Google Calendar to keep track of our appointments, important events, and meetings. If that's your case, feel free to use this page as a transitional step to jump between daily and weekly layouts. As with the year calendar, you can tap any day or week, and it will take you to that specific page. It's important to remember that any input you write in your calendar won't automatically appear on other sections, as this is not a functionality available for PDF files. It's worth taking the time to think about where it's more appropriate to write your information. I put important events that require preparation ahead of time, for example, a wedding, where I know I will see them regularly. At the same time, a simple reminder like calling my accountant next Monday will be best located on that specific day, as I will only need to remember it once that date arrives. This way, I can save more space on my calendar for more important events. You can also use these pages to plan your monthly tasks and projects. Looking at the top, you will also see a link to your current quarter, which will change depending on the month you are on. Each month also has a corresponding monthly overview page that you can access from this link. The monthly overview is a section where you can jot down any notes or goals that you might have for any given month. You also have access to a monthly tracker, which is helpful to track habits or any other particular task or activity. Dates on this page are also linked to their specific daily pages. Now let's head back to the calendar by pressing this link at the top. Let's move on to the weekly sections. You can use these pages to plan your week ahead of time. If you are using the Lite edition of the Daily Planner, this section won't be present in your file, so please keep that in mind. In this section, you can set your weekly targets and any other related tasks you might need to reference throughout the week. There is also a weekly notes section, which I use to do my weekly reviews, but you can use them for any purpose you like. Coming back to our weekly planning page, you'll notice these two navigation links at the top. They will enable you to jump to the previous or following weeks quickly. This is a helpful feature if you need to reference pending tasks you might not have completed last week or may need to be moved forward to the next one. These links will be even more helpful as you start to add page inserts in between. Page inserts are custom templates that you can add next to any page, giving you that additional structure you might need at any given moment. For example, I know that it will be hectic next week, so I added a weekly time block schedule that will enable me to see how much spare time I'll have throughout the week. I added that extra page next to its corresponding week, so all I need to do to access it is to swipe from this page to the left to reach it. You can add a wide variety of templates from the Page Insert section by pressing the plus icon at the top. We'll show you how to do that in a different video, which is also available in the description box. Pressing any date from the weekly section will bring you to the daily pages. If you use the weekly edition of our planner, this daily pages won't be present in your file, but some principles will still apply, so it's worth paying attention to this section. One of the characteristics of effective planning is identifying your most important tasks every day, those tasks that will move your life forward. Writing them up front will give them a sense of priority to ensure that you put your goals and critical projects first. Below, you will find your secondary tasks list. This is where you put the rest of your tasks and the ones that will pop up throughout the day. You can use symbols to add a status to your tasks. You can use check marks to denote that a task has been completed, an arrow for those that have been deferred or moved to another day, a circle for a task that has been delegated, or even an X for those that have been deleted. You could also simply cross them out. These are just examples. You are free to use any symbols you like, so you can choose a system that works for you. To the right, you'll find a standard schedule that you can use to write your time-sensitive tasks. You can also use it for time blocking if you prefer to plan your days that way. If you don't need to plan your days in such detail, we recommend checking out our weekly planner selections from our store. If you decide to use the daily version, there will also be other daily layouts to choose from with your downloads, as we know that many of us like to plan our days in different ways. Nevertheless, this is the layout we like to use ourselves. We have a few navigation options at the top. Here, you'll find links to jump to days of the current week quickly. These links become more valuable as you add page inserts in between. One caveat, though, is that we wouldn't recommend adding too many page inserts to your planner, as the file becomes considerably heavier and slower as we add pages and writings. If you have many meetings per day, we recommend using our meeting book, available at our store, to keep these writings in a different file. Adding page inserts between dates will be okay for occasional meetings and any other page inserts. Next, you will find links to the weekly and monthly sections we just reviewed a while ago. These links are handy as they will always bring you to the current week or month depending on what date you press them. This is a great way to reference your calendar and plans for the week. There is also a quick link to the monthly overview so you can easily access your tracker and notes for any given month. Lastly, we have a link to a daily notes page. Pressing this link will bring you to a dedicated page that you can use to take any notes related to that specific date. These pages are helpful for short meeting notes, calls, ideas, daily logs, and even journaling. If you start using this section often, you will notice that it will become challenging to keep track of your notes. With that in mind, we've added a dedicated index that you can use to organize them. To index a note, simply press the Go to Index link and then write a small label on the corresponding date to identify it. Then press that date to go back to your daily notes page. Often, one page won't be enough for my notes, but I can add more by duplicating the page. Whenever you notice that you need more notes pages, go to your Documents overview by pressing this link in your sidebar tool. Once you are in the Overview section, use the Duplicate Page function at the top, and a copy of that page will appear right after it. Go to the newly added page and erase its content to have new additional notes pages with functional links. The original page will be one swipe away from the duplicate page, so you can always swipe back to reach it. We've covered all dated sections in the document, so let's move on to the Annual Goals section. You can access this section by pressing the target icon from any page in your document. Here, you can set up to 12 goals for the year, no matter which month you start using the planner. But make sure to set yourself up for success by adding realistic goals that you know you can achieve during that time frame. There is a do column on the side, so you can see at a glance when you intend to complete these goals, as you probably won't work on all of them at once. Pressing the arrow-shaped links on the left will bring you to the goal detail pages, where you can describe your goal. Being specific on what you want to achieve is critical, as vague goals are less likely to be accomplished. You can break down your goals into smaller steps to make them more manageable. You can also set what habits will increase your likelihood of achieving your goals, and you can track these with the help of your monthly tracker. Lastly, you can define benefits and even reward yourself if you complete your goal for a little motivational kick. Head back to the Annual Goals section by pressing this link at the top. We recommend that you visit this page every so often to ensure that you are staying on track with your proposed goals and thus increase the probability of achieving them. We've arrived at the last section of this document, the Custom Pages section. As the name suggests, this is a place where you can keep any information you like. You'll have 5 custom sections that you can use along with the page inserts to make them anything you want. The great thing about custom sections is that they are always available from any location in your planner by tapping any of the links located behind the sidebar tool. For example, I will use one of my custom sections for expense tracking, so I will press this section and add the expense tracking page inserts next to this binder. Then, I can write my transactions there and keep adding pages as needed. One of the advantages of using page inserts is that they have links that you can use to go back to any other section in your file, enabling you to return to other pages more easily. Using them, I can easily go back to my Custom Pages section. You'll also have a Custom Notes section below to have quick access to any relevant information you might need at any given point. Access these notes by pressing the page numbers on the left. As with other notes sections, you can duplicate these pages to add more space for your notes. Finally, you have a quick link to any of your daily notes indexes so that you can always find your daily notes more easily. Well, that's it. Now you are set up to start using your planner most effectively and efficiently. There has been a lot of work and care placed into these files, and we hope that you enjoy them as much as we do. Remember to look at the other resources in the description box below. Leave a comment or get in touch with us directly if you have any questions, and we'll reply as soon as we can. Consider subscribing to the channel for more tutorials and tips, and please like the video if you found it useful. Bye! Until next time.